But I hope by now that you have a clear plan, or you can make a clear plan. And remember that I promised to talk about these three things today: what mugging is and when it's not mugging, why punishing and ignoring bad behaviors don't work, and what you can do instead that will strengthen the bond that you have with your horse and give you safe and desired behaviors. Now, my question to you is, how many of you have learned at least one thing that you didn't know before my talk, or how many of you were reminded of at least one new thing? I would love it if you give your feedback in the chat with an emoji, or just tip me, that's enough, because I would love to hear from you, because it's reinforcing. Let's see if somebody learned something new. I don't see anything. Oh, me. Okay, me. Oh, good to know. That's awesome. So that's awesome. Thank you for giving me feedback, because now you can give yourself a pat on the back and or an applause because you learned something new today. So imagine what your life would look like if your horse stopped mugging you, but you kept that communication going. Would you feel more relaxed around your horse? Or maybe you will feel even safer if you know that your horse won't push you around or walk all over you. So if you want to have a well-behaved horse that exactly does what you want without having to punish your horse for bad behaviors that can damage that special relationship that you already have, and if you want support, guidance, and hand-holding to make that happen for your horse in a way that's unique to your situation, I'll invite you to join the HippoLogic Clicker Training Academy. So in the academy, you will get a whole year or hands-on support to develop the behaviors you want and to create this two-way communication with your horse based on mutual trust and understanding and love for only $1,500. So Georgie will share the link in the chat. So if you want to join the movement for kinder, more humane training of your horse, I believe that you are the best trainer of your horse, and I believe that you can do this. The academy is only open for the next 48 hours, and I will close it until next time. And I only reopen it if there's some spot left. I only have 40 spots in total for this year. So before we go to the questions, one more thing for people who have to leave. Next month's topic is to teach your horse to relax in training, to teach him to wait and wait for your cues, and also how you can calm him down if he gets overly excited or nervous, all in one behavior. Join the next masterclass if you want to be confident in training because your horse is calm and relaxed and he doesn't throw all kinds of new behaviors to get your attention. If you want to be able to calm your horse down in stressful situation, and if you really want that relationship built on mutual trust and understanding and two-way communication. So you can register now, or if you don't want to wait a whole month, or you want to learn how to help your horse stop mugging, join the academy. And now there's time for questions. Let's see some questions. Can you please help me, Georgie?
Yes. So I don't have an exact question right now, but I do have some examples of how people's horses are mugging them.
Oh, let's
which you
get
asked
to
in
that.
the beginning.
Thank you. Yeah.
So we seem to have quite a few that where the horse is nibbling and pushing into their space, and then another where it's pushing with the nose.
Okay, so incompatible, easy behaviors that your horse already can do is, first of all, creating distance and teaching your horse over and over again that pushing into you won't get him the result, but backing up or giving you space will. So you have to think like you can teach him to back up, straight back up, or depending on where you are next to it, if you're standing next to his shoulder, instead of moving his head towards you into your pockets, then you can teach him to keep his neck straight, for instance. So those are examples of just preventing your horse to grab the treats or nibbling your clothes, if that makes sense. Is there some other behavior, Georgie?
Let me see. I've got a lot of the pushing, a lot of the nibbling. He mugs me when he's bored, and it makes her feel very annoyed when that happens.
I can relate. Um, well, then the question is like, how how can you tell your horse is bored? Well, I can tell you one thing. He's doing this because he's not getting what he wants. He wants your attention. Maybe if you have this in your mind and you know exactly, because your situation is unique, so you can tell when he's bored, he's he he wants to communicate with you. That's my guess. I don't have enough information, but in the academy, I would really deep dive into what are the situations. But if he's bored, give him something to do. So give him a default behavior that you would reinforce more than if he's not doing anything and he's just being bored. And then, yeah, then they will try to get your attention, because that's what they want. They want to connect with you. And if they don't have an alternative to do the nipping behavior or other unwanted behaviors, they still want your attention. That's if they wouldn't be interested in you or what you have to offer, they would ignore you. So I hope that gives you some information.
And then, is it different with a young horse? Because she does this with us and other horses.
Yeah, so we always have to go back to what is it that the horse wants. And young horses want to play, but young horses in a herd also wants to explore boundaries, for instance. And you're talking about she, so it's mare, but like geldings have this play behavior a little bit, like that the play behavior in stallions and geldings is a little bit more stronger than in mares. But if she also does it with other horses, well, let her do that with other horses. And you can also teach her an alternative behavior, what she can do to keep in communication with you in a way that's safe and desired. Yeah, she's playful. So in training too, you can also, if they want to play, you can also start every training with some playful behaviors to get that out of the way, and then ask a little bit of, now I want focused attention, and this is training, and now you can play. So there's absolutely, it's all about what does your horse want and how can you give it to a horse that makes it win-win for you, because actually we are already reinforcing these behaviors, because otherwise they wouldn't do it. Were there some other examples of mugging behaviors?
Did you see the one going in a pen with multiple horses and they get pushy?
Yeah, I do see it going. Do they get pushy with you or with those other horses? Can you like elaborate a little bit on that? Because if they do it with other horses, it's I don't consider that mugging, because mugging is really that when they do that to you with other horses. You can influence their behavior by changing their environment, but this is not really about mugging, because I would call that a different behavior then. And in order to give you a whole plan, I would really need more information to give you some steps that you can really implement, because what they do among each other, behavior is always it's always triggered by either internal or external things in the environment. Fear will make them run away. Food will make them run towards the food. So we can change the environment and therefore change their behavior. So if they do that among each other, then I would like to dive into what's the situation. But this is beyond that, beyond the mugging. I don't own any horses, but I do have the opportunity to work with a rescue horse who lives in a very traditional setting. Other people work with her as well in a traditional way. She can be very stubborn and plant her feet, especially under saddle. How can I help her with positive reinforcement? Is this even possible? Is this even possible? Because everybody else would use positive punishment, which does not work for her. No, it doesn't. And she gets more upset. Exactly. Well, it works best if everybody's on the same place, but horses are smart. They will learn who does what. So you can train that horse. So this is not a mugging example, actually, because she plants her feet. Especially under saddle, so that's not really mugging, but like so for instance, again, this example, I would really look into like what's the environment, but we also have to remind ourselves that they do know the difference between this person and that person, and they will make other decisions if you react differently. Because positive punishment, we already established that doesn't help the horse-human relationship at all, and it only will work if you do it consistently. But if your horse, I'm going on to a whole rant about behaviors, so I'm sorry, I have to stop that because it's out of the scope of this situation. So I'm sorry, but yeah, with all the undesired behaviors, I would really, step one is, why does the horse do it? What does he get out of it? And how can I use whatever he gets out of it as reinforcement for a different behavior that I want, so we can make it a win-win. So if the horse was pushing you to get a treat, would you ignore that completely or have them back up and stand still to receive the treat? Well, it depends. That's my answer. It depends, because that's why I like to teach people principles instead of rules, because the rule that you have to teach every horse to back up is not applicable in all situations. However, if you go back to the principle, how can I make it a win-win? So the horse is pushing to get to a treat. So I won't ignore that, because I already established that I push him into extinction burst and make him angry and frustrated. So I will immediately start training incompatible, easy behavior just to start with. So in some situations, for some horses, it works best to teach them just to step backwards, one step. And you can do that in different ways. You can just present the treat in a different way, but you also can set up the environment. So first of all, to prevent him from becoming into your space, and I do that with protective contact. So just put him on the side of the fence, you stay on this side of the fence, because in that way you make it impossible to reinforce the wanted behavior. So that's how you start session one. And stand still to receive the treat. It depends if that's possible and desired. You can do that. For advanced trainers, you can also pick multiple behaviors. Oh, he's backing up. reinforce that. Oh, he's looking away, reinforce that. But that's, if you're starting with clicker training, that's too much to think about, because then it's like, oh, was this click worthy or not? Oh, now I missed it. So, but if you're advanced trainer and you're very quick with looking at the desired behaviors, then you can think, okay, backing up is something I can reinforce. If they move their head away or move their head down even, or look to something else, it's all things. So when you have made a plan, it's called a shaping plan, and have really written it down, then it's very clear in your head, and that would be the first step. Thank you. Okay, you're welcome. One new message. Do you click and treat quickly or give a pause before you treat? Well, there's two reinforcing moments in clicker training. One, when you click, because that's when you pinpoint to that specific behavior. And then when you give the treat, that's also a reinforcing moment. So if horses are mugging and they are anticipating on the treat coming, they can also display unwanted behavior. It's perfectly nice and relaxed. You click and suddenly he comes with his lips or he grabs your whole hand. So then you have to make a plan how you can teach him that that's not what you want, but you want something else. But I do not deliberately pause between the click and the treat, especially if you want to teach horses to change their behavior quickly. Just a little bit of speed in that training will help your horse understand it better, because if you withdraw the treat, that's exactly what he wants. You are in the negative punishment, basically, because click, you will get a treat. That's your communication. And then you don't give him the treat. So now he's like, where is it? Where is it? So you can create really high frustration, especially in mugging horses. So at first, click, treat, speed it up. Short sessions, that would be my advice. Let me see. When our session is done, I say all done. My gelding then becomes desperate for me to stay and play. I will walk quickly to block my walking away. I make him move and continue on my way. Yeah, so you make him move, so you're interacting. That would be the thing that I would set up the environment to avoid in that specific situation. So, for instance, you can give him some food, then say all gone or all done, and then walk away, because that just pattern interrupts that mugging behavior, and then come up with a plan to teach him better behaviors by teaching, for instance, and that's the next masterclass, key lesson patience, to teach a horse to stand still and relaxed. Is it called a marker when you click, as they come to attention when I click? Yeah, that's a marker, and the marker pinpoints and marks the desired behavior. Yeah, that's it. So we are 5 minutes over time now. If there are more questions, were there more questions?
Nope, that was it.
Okay,
That
I will
was it.
go over the questions after we end the masterclass, and then if I found a question that I think I didn't answer, I will answer them this week on my YouTube channel. So you can find your answer there. And thank you very much for attending. And so let's see. So the next masterclass, I'm going to focus, trying to do it the first Saturday of the month. See how that goes. So the next one is on March 2nd, and registration is open. And I'm looking forward to see you again. Let's see in the chat. Thank you, thank you. Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. Love it. Thank you. I've learned more to take out to my horses. Oh, that's excellent. Yeah, that's what it all is for, to yeah, enhance horse-human relationship. So yeah, you made me very happy to give me that feedback.